keep your lamp trimmed in a burning. Keep your lamp trimmed in a burning. Keep your lamp trimmed.
My name is Jesse James Jimmy. It gives me comfort to tell the story about Fannie Lou is because I know that young people are missing this era of history, and this era of history is so important that we learn how we got to vote, the problems that Fannie Lou went through, the things that were done to her in order for us to have these rights.
My name is Kyle Fowler Jones. I am a filmmaker and video editor. I live in Boston, Massachusetts, and I'm down here in Mississippi. This is my second time at the Mississippi Delta Film Academy, and I'm excited to be back. The goal to stop teaching these things, to get them out of classrooms, is ultimately to not have young people aware of it. And when young people aren't aware of it, everybody starts to forget about it. Much like the Emmett Till case. I mean, it might seem like one case, one thing that happened in one town a long time ago, but it's part of a bigger effort to make sure no one talks about any of these problems, to make sure nobody remembers any of these problems, so we can just say, it's okay. Things are okay. Things are how they always have been. Because when people start to learn the history, they start to learn the facts, people start to get upset because it's a pretty bad history. It's a pretty dark history.
My favorite memory about Fannie Lou is her singing, is her speech.
Claims Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer.
And to the Credentials Committee, my name is Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer, and I live at 626 East Lafayette Street, Roosevelt, Mississippi. Sunflower County, the home of Senator James O. Eastland and Senator Stinney. All of this is on account of we want to register to become first-class citizens. And if the Freedom Democratic Party is not seated now, I question America. Is this America, the land of the free and the home of the brave, where we have to sleep with our telephones off of the hook because our lives be threatened daily, because we want to live as decent human beings in America? Thank you.
Well, at least in Ruleville, it was almost a 30-mile trip to the courthouse. That was not easy for folks to make, and when you got down there, you were presented with a 23-question or 24-question form. You had to fill it out, and the last 3 questions were you had to write out a section of the Constitution, write out your own personal interpretation of the Constitution, and then write a paragraph about what it meant to be a good citizen. And the only judge of whether those questions were answered right was the white registrar. And guess what? He wasn't very fair. And white people who came and couldn't even read and write, they managed somehow to pass the test. Black folks didn't. And it was, once you took the test, the registrar didn't even tell you on that day whether you passed it or not. You went home another 30 miles, then you had to return in 3 weeks to learn if you had passed or not. And then you couldn't even take the test again on that day. You had to go home, and then you had to come back again. So they made it as hard as they possibly could for folks.